Stephen, welcome to the show.
G'day, boys. Thank you.
Just looking here, you played 135 games with Geelong, 14 with Port Adelaide, so you're about to crack into a milestone, 150 games. What does that mean to you?
Oh, yeah, I'm obviously pretty lucky. The last few seasons I've been able to string some games together and get full pre-seasons in, and the body's really well. So to play 150 at a couple of great clubs, I'm really privileged. Now,
generally on a milestone game, they'll show a bit of a highlights package. Have you had enough highlights in the 14 games to get a couple of minutes out, or they show some Geelong stuff as well?
Probably not enough, yeah. I think they'll try to stick to a few more Port ones, but yeah, probably not enough.
Are you number one for the Motlop family? I know Daniel played, around 130?
Yeah, I think he was about 135, yeah.
So you got him?
Yep. Yeah, I got him.
Oh,
yeah.
Happy days. Well and truly.
He still thinks he's better than me, though. If you ask him, trust me.
You'll have that argument forever.
You want to talk about a highlight reel? He had a highlight reel.
He did. He kicked a few good goals, Daniel.
And I'll tell you what, he could sell a pup better than anyone too, couldn't he?
It's actually only yesterday he was watching his YouTube highlights, really? Showing me. She was showing his son, actually. His son's over from Perth.
Reminding himself.
21-point win over Carlton. Just got the job done, which is a good sign of a good team.
Yeah, I mean, Carlton have been in some good form. They've been thereabouts in the last, sort of 4 weeks, up until three-quarter time against good opposition. So we knew they were going to be good, and to run out and beat them towards the end was a good result for us.
What was the message at three-quarter time? You didn't score in the third quarter. You're only 2 points up.
Yeah, I guess
I had my alarm bells ringing, but as players, you certainly didn't.
Oh, to keep coming back to the ball and just get it into our forwards and give us a chance. So we did that and got it in, and we were lucky enough to kick a few goals and get in front.
He kicked a pretty important one.
As you tend to do.
Exactly. He's done that a few times already.
Good hands by Lindsay Thomas.
He was indeed. A lot of discussion at the start of the year. It's going to take a little bit of time for all the players to gel. How long did it take you to really settle in and feel comfortable with all the structures and stuff at Port Adelaide?
To be honest, it's still taking me a little bit now.
Ongoing process?
Yeah, definitely. I'm still learning, talking to coaches and trying to get used to it all, but I just try to go out and play on instinct, and the players around me really helped me as well. So,
just half-time, SA by 43 points. Sorry, Motty, we got it up on the Fox Sport. There's a little bit of a Boomers v Philippines type of action happening. There's no chairs coming over the top, but there's a bit of an all-in push and shove.
Yeah, well, it looks like maybe the Victorians are thinking, well, we can't win on the score, but we need to stir them up a little bit. So, yeah.
Typical Vicks.
Yeah, typical Vicks up now. Just on that, coming home, you've got some family here in South Australia. Have you enjoyed that? And are you feeling a lot more relaxed and comfortable with it?
Yeah, definitely. I was thinking about it yesterday. I used to come here when I was sort of 15 and 16 and visit Daniel and on school holidays, and I used to play at North Adelaide as well when I was sort of 15, 16. I used to come at sort of 2 weeks at a time, and it was always just a happy place for me, Adelaide, and to come down and see my brother and just be around footy, and I was just thinking about it, and every time I used to come back to Adelaide, it just felt, I felt really happy and good inside. So I've been here for about 9 months now, and it just feels like I'm just happy all the time. So
that's great.
It's great. I love walking into the footy club, and I also love being able to see my family, Daniel and his kids. And
well done. And fitting into Port's system and your role and how it fits with you, you seem to have done that well. You played 14 games, 10 goals, number one for goal assists. You fitted in, you feel the football side of things?
Yeah, definitely. I'm just playing different roles every week, on the wing, up forward, and wherever sort of Kenny needs me. I've done a little bit of that at Geelong as well. So just loving playing at Adelaide Oval, to be honest. It's a great deck, and looking forward to playing.
Where is your best spot? Because that has seemed to be your entire career. You're very flexible. You can play back, midfield, forward, wing, half forward, up, the number 4. You can play all the roles.
I actually only played back for the first time the other week.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
I think it was against the Bulldogs. I played a quarter there.
Yeah.
Kenny was on the phone and he said, we need someone to go back, and I was joking, but he actually put me there.
But where would you love to settle down? Where do you think?
Give that back.
I actually wouldn't mind trying backline, but I'd like to play in the midfield a bit more. Yeah. But like I said, wherever sort of Kenny needs me, and but I'd like to get a good pre-season under my belt. I missed a fair bit of pre-season this year with a bit of groin issues, but I want to play a bit more midfield.
They call it the men's department down in defence. That's where the real men play. That's what Tommy Jonas
you're talking about his groins. You should have seen Bonnie's eyes. They lit up like mine.
What about... I heard Ken Hinkley, might have been talking to us or someone else, he was describing Robbie Gray and what a star he was, and we know that Ken was an assistant coach at Geelong when Gary Ablett was there and watched him closely. I think you might have had a crossover maybe 1 or 2 seasons with Gary as well. How amazing is Robbie Gray? I'm sure you had a lot of respect for him, but coming and seeing him every week and the year he's had this year, he's just a star, isn't he?
Yeah, I guess the best part about it is you get to see these guys train, and you train with them every day, and they're constantly doing those freakish things as well. So, and on top of it, Robbie's a legend of a bloke as well. So
in the same conversation in terms of skill and all that?
Yeah, definitely. My brother still holds Robbie as high as Gary Ablett with the players he's ever played with. So, and to come here and play with him, I definitely have seen that as well. So
his ball control is freaky.
Yeah. He's
bounces like a basketball sometimes.
He can.
The only bloke that comes back to.
We have Stevie Motlop in the studio for FIVEaa Tap, and he has brought with him a double. This is Port Adelaide taking on St Kilda. It is at Adelaide Oval, 4:05. A double to our FIVEaa locker room. Best caller up until 5:30. We're going to have Motti in here till 5:30. Best caller. Any supporter, Port people, $430 in value. 8223 0000. You've got to ask Motti a question. You don't just ring. You've got to ask a really good question. And Motti will go, well, I like that one. And you will get that FIVEaa locker room double. Cyril Rioli, a boy from the NT, as great as he's been. I'd love some words from you on him.
Oh, he's just incredible, and his whole family's incredible. What he's done for the game, that's really, I can just sum it up, just the word incredible. He's a great player and a great guy as well. So I'd like to congratulate him on a great career, and I'll definitely catch up with him up in Darwin. I'm looking forward to actually watching him play in the off-season up in Darwin. I'm pretty sure he'll want to have a game up there with St Mary's. So
he's a St Mary's boy?
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Is there much of an age difference between the two of you?
He's got 2 years older.
He's 28.
Yeah. So
value for touches, I've never seen one better.
Yeah, amazing goals.
Player.
And not only, goals, his defensive work as well. Just a really well-rounded player.
Yeah.
That's why you don't ever want to be a defender, mate. You find yourself on players like Cyril Rioli. We were just discussing off air before you came on. It's been a little bit of a sort of crisp winter here, but I'm guessing nothing compared to what it was like at Geelong for all those years.
Mate, the 4 or 5 degrees difference makes a difference, I'm telling you right now. Yeah, definitely not as cold. Yeah, not as windy as much too.
Did you ever swim back that way?
Too many sharks, mate, for me down there.
The sharks?
I had a few mates that love surfing.
We've got a few out here, Motti.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. Not as big, they say.
Let's go to Paul first up. He's on the mobile. Paul, you're speaking to Stephen Motlop.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon, Stephen. Welcome to the club.
Thank you, mate.
Now, just before I do my question, I think the way we're performing at the moment just shows the level of maturity that the club has achieved, especially last week. Last year we would have lost that game on the weekend. However, on the weekend, the level of maturity just to ice the game when we needed to and seize control was just the most pleasing thing from my perspective. But, mate, my question for you regarding the showdown, and of course that goal that put you down in Port Adelaide folklore for the goal that you kicked. One thing we're noticing at the moment is the amount of players missing goals from set shots when they've got time to think about it. Now, can you just talk me through when you kicked that goal? Obviously, you had minimal time to think about it. Do you find that you prefer to have running shots like that where you've got minimal time to think about it versus actually going back and having a set shot because it's more spontaneous rather than having time?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think every player's different. I definitely like my kicking goals on the run. I think every player has a routine and they go through that. So you got to stick to it, and hopefully in a big moment it can work for you because it'll give you confidence.
What about the left foot? Did you think about going on the left, or you thought you'd go the check side?
I thought about the check side straight away. I thought about the check side, but I was able to straighten up. I mean, I was pretty lucky to be in that situation. Every plays in big games, and to have the ball in my hands, and that's what you want as a player.
Well, you were the right man. You iced it. Thank you, Paul. Chris, you got Motti here.
There you go, Mod.
G'day, mate.
Thanks for coming to Port Adelaide, mate.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
That was said with warmth and love, eh?
I just wanted to ask you about your cousin's food stall there in the market. What's your favourite food out of there, and do you eat any on a regular basis? Anything you can put forward to us?
Yeah, something wild. We've got the store down there. Me and my brothers actually. We own that. It's a native game and native green business. My favourite food is actually the magpie geese. We harvest that between October and March, so that's coming up, and I'm able to get back there in the off season and hunt them a bit. So it's good for me.
It's a delicacy. That
So
it's down at the Adelaide Central Market.
Is that where you hunt the geese?
Yeah, up in Darwin. Yeah, yep.
They eat all the mangoes up there, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
geese?
the farmers get sick of them. So
well, give us a couple of
we
other
remove
things from Something Wild. What else can people expect if they went into the central market?
We sell green ants. So recently won a World Gold Cheese Award. So they put green ants on cheese, and we also have a green ant gin with that as well. So
that is
we're into the
world-class.
alcohol, and
wow,
it's going really well. Daniel's really busy with all that.
Yeah.
So
congratulations, brilliant, Chris. Thank you, Pete from Windsor Gardens.
Yeah, hey, Mott, I'm rapt to have you at our club. I reckon you're the player that gets on the end of them, a bit like Stewie Jew used to, so we're very happy to have you.
Thanks,
hey, I
mate.
was a huge Daniel fan. He used to back himself and slot him through from outside 50. I've got a theory that our club doesn't have enough players that can kick him from 50, and you've got a reasonable roost on you. Do you think you can kick him from 50?
Thanks, Pete.
My legs are a bit skinny. I can probably only just kick 50, but I think if you put the ball at the top of the square, there's a stat that suggests you've got a better chance of kicking a goal. So
okay.
I think most teams will do that.
Who's the Roosters? Polly's a rooster?
Yeah, we've got a few actually.
Hammer
Hamish,
Hartlett was a rooster?
Yeah, he's got a beautiful kick. So
who else?
Matty Broadbent will be back on the run.
Yep.
He kicked one from about 80 last year at the MCG.
Thanks,
he had his
Pete.
first game back on the weekend, which is great to see.
Good stuff.
We have Stevie Motlop here for Pura Tap. Let's go to Mount Barker. Paul?
Yes, how are you, Steve?
I'm good, thanks.
The rest of the panel. I've got a two-part query.
What two parts?
You said you'd like to go in the back lines. I think you're better off across the centre line with all the gun back players that we've got. And I actually think that Dougal Howard should go up forward. But the second part of the question or theory is that you'd be better off with your passing to pass into the forward line, because we don't seem to do that to try and spot up a forward player. And with your kicking, it'd make it so much easier for them to mark it.
There you go.
Yeah, I guess it's a little bit to do with the way you move the ball as well. So, I'm happy playing forward and back, but I probably won't play back, let's be honest. but and playing in the midfield. So we've got a lot of great ball users, Chad Wingard in the midfield as well. So we've got a number of guys, and I think we're really building in that area.
Yeah, good work, Paul. Let's go to Jenny now. You're talking to Stephen Motlop.
Hi, Steve. It's really great to have you at Port. I love watching you.
Thank you.
My question is, what have you found the differences or similarities between Ken Hinkley and Chris Scott as far as their coaching styles?
Good question.
Yeah, it's a tough one. They're both great guys and both great coaches, so both different, and it's been really refreshing having Kenny. Kenny allows me to take the game on and play really attacking, and Scotty did that as well. So, Kenny's just a great coach and enjoying it at the moment.
Thanks, Jen. You're in the running there for those AA, 5AA locker room doubles. Who's giving you the biggest spray? Scotty or...
I'm pretty sure it's going to come from Kenny.
He's got it in him, hasn't he?
Yeah, he does.
That is Meg, but he cares.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, definitely cares.
Mark, Stevie Motlop.
Hi, Steve. Welcome to Port. Just a quick question. I just wanted to see why you had a few choices of clubs to go to. What drew you to our great club? And why did you decide to come to Port Adelaide?
For me, I had a bit of family played at, obviously Daniel played at Port Adelaide, and I'd associated with the club a fair bit, and my cousin Marlon worked at the club as well, so and I'd met Kenny, so I just had that great connection, so that was probably the reason why I chose to play at Port, and also the good players they had and the players that I wanted to play with, Robbie Gray and Chad Wingard, Charlie Dixon, these type of players, Ollie Wines, the club's in a really great spot.
Good work. Thanks for that, Mark. Just quickly, was Ken an assistant coach at Geelong in your first year?
I had him for a year, yeah.
There you go. Heather, how are you?
Good. You can call me Little Warrior.
Little Warrior.
Little Warrior.
Hi. We really enjoyed the China experience being over there, and I'd like to know what you think it means for the club and the game, and how the club prepares you all for going there. Yeah,
it's huge to develop the game overseas, and to take it over there and play in front of the crowd over there was incredible and a great experience for me, and I know all the players loved it as well, so we've had really great support for it, and I'm sure we're going to do it for a few more years.
Good on you, Little Warrior. Let's go to Para Hills, Pete.
Good evening, boys. Good evening, Knots.
Good evening.
How you going, pal? Have you seen any similarities in Aidan Johnson to yourself when you were younger?
Definitely, yeah. He's going to be a good player, Aiden. He's had some good form in the SANFL, so hopefully we see a bit more of him. Loves kicking a goal, and also his defensive work is really good as well.
He's hard at it. Thanks, Pete. We're going to give it to Jenny. Monty's just gone, I like Jenny's call. Jenny, ring back. You got the Port Adelaide St Kilda 5AA locker room double, valued at $430. Great seats. You'll really enjoy that. Still get tickets. It's going to be a big game, 4:05. portadelaidefc.com.au/tickets.
Yeah, what about the Saints? Had a really good win last week, so you can't afford to take them lightly, obviously.
Yeah, definitely. The whole competition's that close at the moment. You can't back anyone these days, so they're in some good form, and we've seen what happened here last year, how big the game was, and Robbie's goal, so I'm sure it's going to be a great one, and the crowd are definitely all going to be going.
Yeah, and just one quick one. Charlie Dixon, you mentioned him in the discussion about wanting to play with him. Whilst he hasn't hit the scoreboard as much this year as last, I'm guessing the smaller forwards really appreciate a lot of the bullocking work that he does.
I mean, he's half the time he's going for a mark. He's got 3 blokes hanging off him, so and he brings it to ground, and we'll get a goal then. So, and his defensive work over the last 8 weeks has been exceptional.
Okay, Tom Jonas, will he be back? Has he been training? Is his hammy okay?
We'll train tomorrow, so after training, I'll know for sure.
Okay, and Pittard, looks like he'll be okay?
Yeah, I'll the same with him as well. So we'll train, and hopefully they get through.
And DBJ, we've all learned a lesson. How many alarms have you got? 8, 9, 10, 4?
Yeah, I've got about 10.
Yeah.
So, he's learned his lesson, and he came out and had a strong performance as well. So he's moved on, and
DBJ, good work. And something wild is at the Adelaide Central Market. Is it magpie goose or magpie geese?
Well, it depends if you got 1 or 2 or 3 or 4.
Well, it's about
doesn't it? Did you go to school?
Oh, wow.
No, I'm sorry.
I tell you what, mate, I knew.
I actually don't know, to be honest.
I knew Monty was on the front foot.
I'm with you.
A bit of a fist. But he's rolling back away from me on the chair.
I did this at the end of the tea when I'm about to leave. So.
I love you. I love your family. You're the only one that could get away with that comment, but you're right, and I didn't go to school for too long.
I didn't mean
That'll
it like
make the highlights.
Exactly.
But it's a beautiful feat. Well done. Congratulations on your season to date. I think you guys are up to your rivals. Top 4. Stop laughing, Bicks. I'm not a rock. I do get sensitive sometimes. Bicks gets in me. Hey, Monty, all the best, mate. Brilliant.
No worries. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
Cheers.
it's been an absolute pleasure.